It's a Saturday, July 10th, 2064. 50 years ago, everyone had at least one Apple product, a Mac computer, an iPhone, or an iPad. Today, everyone has an eBlue product. They released their first phone in 2018. Immediately, their product became the new rage, and everyone couldn't wait to get their hands on the newest piece of technology. It did everything a smartphone did while conveniently strapped to your wrist, making it harder to lose. This new technology led to other advancements like you wouldn't believe. Cars started flying, releasing everyday traffic worries and decreasing travel time. Considering an average car can make it from California to North Carolina in 6 hours with only 2 water stops, airports today are only used for international travel. In 2022, we ran out of petroleum. That's when we made the switch to running our cars on water. Yesterday, my grandpa took me and my younger sister Kate on a guided tour of the shore. He said it was where he used to spend most of his summers. He said that it used to be the most beautiful place. After the hour ride there, I stepped off the air train. I didn't understand why he liked this place so much. It was just a bunch of foul mud puddles. But the next leg of the trip was in the tour's air van. It took us from the city station to the old dock. Today, they use the pier for a marine museum. It's full of old boating things and pictures of extinct fish, like bass and trout. During the ride there, a surround movie played. It talked about how the lakes were formed during the Ice Age. And guess what? They were carved out by glaciers, these huge chunks of ice. Isn't that cool? Well, I think so. But anyway, it also talked about the industrial and technological revolution and how they contributed to the end of the Great Lakes. The film disappeared and the doors lifted. It looked even more sickening. There were mounds of trash covering the ground between puddles. Old tires, crushed pop cans, and crumpled food wrappers. The tour guide handed me a pair of Google glasses and said, "Here, put these on. It'll look a lot different." Before my eyes, it transformed into paradise. The high sun was reflecting off the water. It was indescribable, the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. Now I understood why Grandpa loved this place so much. In the distance, there was a little tower with a glass room at the top. The water was as blue as sapphires and extended as far as I could see. I'd only seen a few ponds, never a natural body of water this large. My swimming options have always been limited to pools. I tipped the glasses to the end of my nose and looked out over the tops of the frames. The landscape was back to 360 degrees of trash and rotting dirt. "Papa, why doesn't it still look like this?" Well, as people grew towards technology, they grew away from nature. He slipped his glasses from his nose and into his hand and looked at me. No one cared for spending time around the lakes. Throughout the next few years, they became full of toxic chemicals. Then, it wasn't good for much of anything anymore, except for being converted into fuel. My sister, who hadn't said a word all trip, spoke up. "I wish we could go swimming." Grandpa took her hand into his and looked out over the mess. "I know, sweetie. Me too."